Okay, just gonna run this for a little bit. Let's get this adjusted here. Okay. Thank you for one viewer. I'm just gonna play a little bit to let other people file in if they're going to do that. Just a little bit of Ignacio Cervantes. While we wait, I'll do one more and then we'll get started. These are pretty quick. We lost a viewer. Okay. Let me monkey around just one sec. Okay, there we go. All right. Let me do one more here. And we'll get on with our show. We're in, okay, I don't have timing here. A couple minutes. All right, one more quick one. Okay, so we got a couple, I guess the counter is off, so let's just go ahead and proceed. Put you over here. Well, hello to whoever actually is there. You know me, but you probably don't know any of the music I'm going to do. So there's a man, Lennox Berkeley, or Sir Lennox Berkeley, if we're being official about it. He was a British composer who lived from about 1900 something or whatever till the late 1980s. And I find his music really fascinating. He was trained early in like the 1920s in France. He was a student of Nadia Boulanger's, and so was exposed to all sorts of people in the kind of modernist sphere of the time, like Poulenc and Stravinsky and Milhaud and all those guys, and tried to bring that back to England and combine that kind of music, like neoclassicism and other modernist stuff that was going on at the time, with the British tradition that he grew up in. So people like Vaughan Williams and Peter Warlock and all that. And he wrote a lot of songs, and he wrote a lot of piano music, and he wrote music in all sorts of genres that's really excellent. I did one of my big playlists on YouTube for him early on when I was doing that, and there's hardly a single piece of his that isn't worth listening to. And they're all, he was a very modest person. He liked to underplay the amount of work he did and how well crafted his pieces were. But it's it's very understatement, because there's, even if his music isn't very all the time like a Mahler's symphony, there's just a hell of a lot of artistry and emotional depth and just great enjoyment to be found in his works. So I put together a kind of short-esque, program of mostly songs, but also a couple of piano works. Just because I think his music pairs very well with summer, with nice weather. There's something breezy about him. There's something accessible about him. He's very easy to program in that way, but also to have that body to the music. So let's get started. The first work I've chosen is actually the first piece that he wrote, that he kept, which is one of a set of early songs that was published after his death that are from about the mid-1920s. So he was about 19 when he wrote this. I think it was 1924. And all the three songs in the set are all based on medieval French love poems. So this is about as French-ish as we're going to get. And there's, it's a very sweet love song, and it's, very approachable harmonies and stuff, but you can see there's a lot of little details which are really nice in it. And so this is kind of where everything starts out with him, and I'd like to give it a shot. That's just really nice. I am a great admirer of a CD of his songs by I think it's James Galbraith. Of course, I forget his name, but that opened that, and I think that's a good way to open any Berkeley song album. Everything after this is going to get a little more complicated, a little more edgy, more streamlined in a lot of ways. He's a very Art Deco composer, believing in lots of straight lines, the airiness, not getting in the way of himself, which is a great attribute for any composer to have. And that all of that's in the next thing I'm going to do, which is a set of 5 short pieces for piano, Opus 4. These were written in the 1930s, and sorry, give me 1 second. I've got a heck of the sun's kind of coming right down my face. As it is, in fact, sunset here. 1 sec. There we go. Oh, that's a lot better. And so all that I was talking about, streamlining, it's sort of like there's a lot of tonality inside of this, but it's pushing at the edges of that, so there'd be chords with weird notes inside of them, but they still go along nice melodies. Really great melodies throughout these pieces. And this is something, now that I'm teaching piano lessons, I'm definitely going to assign this to a student if they need something, a big multi-movement set to do. So here's the 5 short pieces for piano, Opus 4. band. Those are very charming and not too hard. I call those intermediate, though obviously there's some room for mistakes. But he never overplayed his hand in any music. You know, there's nothing that's turgid or stringent, you know, but there's also nothing that's totally just weak sauce. I'd like to jump chronology a little bit for the next piece. We're going to go forward a few decades into the 1970s, into kind of the last phase of his career. The next thing I'm going to do is a little song set, just 3 songs, called Another Spring. And this one I have a real affection for because there's no commercial recording of it. It's kind of, you know, I found it, you know, for sale, the physical copy, and I did a little live stream performance of it couple of years ago, back when the pandemic had just started, and I really enjoy it. And it's kind of like my piece at this point, because I don't know anyone else who's ever done it. There is kind of a scratchy old archive recording, but I'm sort of the one modern steward of it in that sense. So the songs are based on poems by Walter de la Mare, who was one of the kind of Georgian poets of the early 20th century. He was also a novelist of some repute. He's best remembered for his weird stories at this point. But they're sort of traditional poems, and they're largely about some of them are about death, but it's kind of about trying to hold on to the precious things in life, you know. And there's a real fragility about the music in that sense. So this is his from 1978, Another Spring, Opus 93, consists of 3 songs: Poetry, Another Spring, and Afraid. Stagnant gloom I toil through a day, all that enchants me put away. No bird decoyed to such a breast could warble a note or be at rest. From the old fountains of delight falls not one drop to salve my sight. Yet though midst of dust my face and shut me in this bitter place, thou also past the world to know, didst hinges hang where heart may go after day's travail, vain all words. Into this garden of the Lord. This is our earthly fate. Howe'er we range, life and its dust are in perpetual change. Although that sweet as welling time winds on, the early roses in thy cheek shine. When they have bloomed, it's not thyself shall want, nor for lost music shall thy heart strings bend. That self's thine own, and all that age can bring love will make lovely than another spring. Of the darkness, oh, so sore afraid. Remember that small fear, and when no moon nor stars do shine, draw It's a really hallowed ending. I find this song last song very haunting. And it through, all these interesting harmonies he's able to pull out of the pieces where it's, it just sort of skidges the note one way or another. It's remarkable how little you have to do to make something really inventive, and there's just a lot of great line writing through this. And I guess there's a couple things that maybe I would rewrite, but it's overall, it touches me quite a lot. And I see one of the comments is I should do a YouTube recording, and yeah, I should do that. I may actually do that this summer. Because one of my goals is probably going to be moving these off of Facebook and onto YouTube where they're a bit more accessible. I used to do a lot of YouTube performances, but it's been a long time. Moving right along, we're going to get to the biggest set of the concert. This is a set of 5 Chinese songs, opus 70 something. It's escaping me. It's from the mid 1970s when he wrote it. This is probably my favorite set of his, and he sets a bunch of ancient Chinese poems. We're talking, pre-1000 A.D. This is classical Chinese poetry, as translated by Arthur Waley in one of the popular translations. And what the West really learned from Chinese poetry and Japanese poetry is just how to take out everything that is not necessary. These are as pared down as it gets, and they have this crystalline perfection in them. And so he wanted to reduce his language somewhat to accommodate this, but also capture all of the different emotions out of this. And so it's some of his most refined music. It's some of his most distinctive music, and the kind of the harmonies and the kinds of line writing he did in this, he didn't do in any other pieces. And I listened to pretty much all of his music, so I should know. And it's really remarkable. And again, it's not forced. He has other more dramatic song cycles, bigger ones like Autumn's Legacy, which take a lot of work to do, and this certainly wasn't no work, but there's never a feeling for the listener that you're being grabbed by your shirt with whatever. So, all right, there's 5 of these. They are People Hide Their Love, The Autumn Wind. I don't expect you to remember these. Just saying it as a matter of process. Dreaming of a Dead Lady, Late Spring, and The Riverside Village. And I let the lyrics speak for themselves. I'm not singing in Chinese, obviously. And these are largely dealing with love and loss, and they have a kind of ghostly quality about them. Who says that it's by my desire, this separation, this living so far from you? My dress still smells of the perfume that you wore. My hand still holds the letter that you sent. Round my waist I wear a double sash. I dream that it binds us both with the same heart knot. Did you know that people hide their love like a flower that seems too precious to be picked? breeze go south. Orchids all in bloom. Chrysanthemum smells sweet. I think of my lovely lady. I never can forget. Floating a good boat crosses Van River. Across the midstream, wide waves rise. Flute and drum keep time to the round of the summer song. Amidst revel and feasting, sad thoughts come. Youth's years of youth, age how short. I heard at night your long sigh, and knew that you were thinking of me. As she spoke, the doors of heaven opened. Our souls conversed, and I saw her face. She lent me a pillow to rest on. She brought me meat and drink. I stood beside her where she lay, but suddenly woke, and she was not there, and none knew how my soul was torn, how the tears fell surging, over my breast. Here in Loyang spring tarries, all in quarters there springs radiance plenty. The willow leaves are beginning to fade, the blossoms are falling, but not yet scarce. Spying under the eaves, the swallows quarrel for entry. Deep in the woods, the birds fly in disorder. But for those on duty at the frontier passes, the steaming dew even now soaks their garments. Riverside village, the moon will set just as I go to sleep. Even if during the night the wind wafts me away, I shall reach the shallows where the rushes bloom. You just can't beat that. And that's a good lesson in how to arrange songs in a set so they make a dramatic order. That's just great music. You could listen to that all day. We're going to go backwards in time again. We're going to go back to that first set, the three early songs. I'm just going to do one more out of those. It's another medieval French poem. So if you were sharpening up your comments, laughing at my pronunciation of Middle French, well, now's your time to sling them again. This is Rondeau from a poem by Charles Dolan, also from 1924 in this song. So, good upbeat contrast piece. Good palate cleanser, that one. Young lovers and all that being there. So, yeah, just checking. I saw a couple of messages go by, but I'm going to just say they're probably not important. So I actually only have 2 more pieces on here, believe it or not. I thought, let's go actually enjoy the evening, go out, and, the worst crime you can do is bore your audience. So we've got 1 piano piece and 1 kind of longer song to do. First up is the piano piece. This is called Paysage. Paysage means landscape in French. This is Opus 44, and it was written in sometime in the 1940s, early 1940s. Originally, it was written to be part of an anthology of piano works sold as a benefit for the war effort. It was internationally between England and France. But I guess that never happened, and this piece actually languished unpublished until the early 90s after his death, where it was put out by his publisher Chester. I'm thinking of doing an all Paysage concert, because the format is interestingly flexible. Just having landscape could mean something very literal, or it could mean a landscape of the mind or the heart. And this feels kind of like it's a bit of a landscape of the heart for him. I think the idea was this is a very tender piece, and it has moments of passion inside of it, but there's something very sad inside of the passion even then, because the harmonies, they're all skewed, and there's something kind of pulling at them, like long forgotten, and which is, I think, very apt piece to help a country that was besieged by a foreign enemy that was in really bad shape, and the country that he kind of came of age musically inside of too. It meant a lot to him. So for the French war effort, here's his Paysage, Opus 44. I'm going to finish with one more song, and it's another love song, but it has a little bit of a story behind it. You know, for someone who writes a lot of love songs, you start to wonder who their loves are and if there's any autobiographical content in that. You know, which is a semi-reasonable thing to ask. And for much of his life, Berkeley had one great love, which is his wife, who he met. I think she was a secretary, and then they had a few children, and you know that defined his kind of social world for many years, and it was, you know, a great romance. But before that, he had probably one notable love, which was Benjamin Britten, who he met in 1936, 37. And Berkeley had about 10 years on him, but they became very good friends, and with Berkeley, he became, you know, kind of romantically attached to Britten. And Britten was, you know, kind of like, I don't know, not really feeling it. But they ended up living together for like 2 years. Regardless, you know, as very intense friends. And then in 1938 or 39, Britten, you know, began a relationship with Peter Pears very famously and went to America. And that just totally devastated Berkeley. You know, and it wasn't until he met his wife where he got that kind of rock, you know, the hole filled in his heart again. So this last song was written in 1937, whereabouts, during those first early years with Britten. And it's a setting of a poem by W.H. Auden, who's a British poet who I actually find kind of difficult to deal with. His poetry is very dense emotionally, and it's oftentimes satirical, and he goes through lots of stuff inside the poems. They're kind of long, and they have a lot of different images that can kind of clash with one another. So he's a difficult poet, I think, to set. And Berkeley actually did a lot of Auden settings because he was a good friend of his, and actually did, I think, the first Auden settings when Auden was a really young poet, including this one. This may be, you know, among the first. So this is called Lay Your Sleeping Head, My Love. It's opus 19-2B, I think. Another one that wasn't really, at least this edition wasn't published until after his death. But it's a really rich song, and it tries to accurately catch all of these different images and emotions and ideas that Auden throws into this. What starts out as a very simple kind of love poem, you know, but it's kind of a remarkable piece. But I'd like to close the recital on this because it shows a lot of different shades of Berkeley, and his, you know, you can see also this kind of internal roiling, if you want to paint this as being him feeling about Britten. So it's a remarkable song. So I'll get on with it. But thank you for watching, whoever is out there. And I'll probably do a couple more of these recitals during the summer, 2 or 3. I've got a couple ideas. So, but this was good to put together. I really love all this music. I listen to Berkeley all day, and should probably try repeating this with a variation in the future sometime. Sleeping head, my love, human on my faithless arm. Time and fevers burn away individual beauty from thoughtless children, and the grave proves the child ephemeral. But in my arms till break of day, let that living creature lie, mortal sympathy, universal love and hope, while an abstract insight wakes among the glaciers and the rocks, the hermit's sensual ecstasy. Certainty, fidelity, on the stroke of midnight pass, like vibrations of a bell, and fashionable madmen raise the pedantic boring cry. Every farthing of the cost of the dreaded cards for 10 shall be paid. But from this night, nor a whisper, nor a thought, nor a kiss, nor look be lost. Beauty, midnight vision dies, let the winds of dawn that blow softly throughout your dreaming head. Such a day of sweetness shows eye and knocking heart may bless. Find the mortal world enough. Moons of dryness see you fed by the involuntary powers. Nights of insult let you pass, watched by every human love. Watched by every human love. Well, that program felt like it went by really quick, but maybe that's just because I had a 2.5-hour rehearsal on Friday. But I really enjoyed putting it together. Thank you so much for watching, whoever that may be. And I'll be back probably in a month or a few weeks with a new program. Just need to decide what it is. And maybe one day I'll move these to YouTube so more people can watch them. These are good kind of practice things to do. So thank you, and thanks to Lennox Berkeley for writing a ton of really great music. And I really recommend you seek out his stuff. Like his guitar works are great, his piano works are great. He wrote some symphonies, just all around excellent composer. So I will see you next time.